Hello everyone, and thank you for being here. Our presentation today focuses on Grenfell Tower, not just the fire itself, but the deeper issues it revealed about housing, inequality, and accountability. Our group includes Judah Kennel, Delmi Padilla, Robert Gutierrez, Sayad Khalil, Angelica Gutierrez, and Jesse Salinas. We chose this image of Grenfell Tower burning because it is a powerful reminder of why this topic is so important, not just in the past, but for the future as well. Our presentation will cover an introduction, information about the organization, a training gap analysis, proposed training solutions, an implementation plan, evaluation and next steps, and our conclusion. Grenfell Tower was a 24-story public housing building in West London, home to about 350 people. On June 14, 2017, a fire broke out in a fourth-floor apartment and spread uncontrollably due to flammable cladding on the building's exterior. The cladding made by Arconic, along with insulation from Celotex, was highly combustible and not suitable for high-rise buildings. 72 people died, the deadliest fire in the United Kingdom since World War II. The building lacked sprinklers, had only one staircase, and residents were told to stay put. The first image captures Grenfell Tower in flames on June 14th. It's a haunting and powerful moment. The fire spread rapidly through the building, fueled by flammable cladding, and led to the loss of 72 lives. For many, this image has come to represent not just a tragic event, but a deep failure in housing safety, regulation, and accountability. The second image is a digital breakdown of key details within the building. It highlights some of the structural and safety issues that worsened the tragedy. The tower had only a single narrow staircase for evacuation, and there were no survivors in 23 flats between the 11th and 23rd floors. The fire originated in a fridge freezer on the 4th floor and quickly spread upward due to external cladding. The building also had community spaces like a boxing club and ground floor gathering areas that served as important parts of the local neighborhood. These details help us understand how both design flaws and broader systemic neglect contributed to the scale of the disaster.
In this slide, we'll be going over the organizations involved in the Grenfell Tower tragedies. So the three organizations were Arconic, Celotex, and RBKC. RBKC was the local government. Arconic provided the cladding, and Celotex supplied the insulation, both later proven to be fire hazardous. RBKC was responsible for managing fire safety and overseeing risk regulation. Some of the training and safety gaps: Arconic and Celotex did not provide adequate training on fire risks associated with their products. RBKC lacked sufficient training on high-rise fire safety and emergency procedures, limiting their ability to manage risk effectively. The key issues: these gaps in training oversight contributed to poor risk management and a delayed response during the fire. On this slide, we'll be going over the training needs assessment. So here are some of the key training deficiencies. Arconic staff lacked proper fire safety knowledge, especially regarding flammability of the rainbow cladding. Celotex, insufficient training on fire resistance standards and product risk assessment for insulation materials. RBKC, which was the local government, they had inadequate training on high-rise fire safety and emergency evacuation procedures. This was all led to poor management of fire risk. Here are some of the consequences of the training gaps. Unsafe materials were used without proper fire safety checks. Regulatory oversight was weak, allowing fire hazards to go unaddressed. Emergency response was poorly executed, contributing to the delayed evacuation and increased casualties. On this slide, I'm going to be giving a quick recap on why these gaps mattered. So flammable materials were used without proper risk assessment. Safety regulations weren't enforced, allowing hazardous conditions to persist. And the emergency response was unprepared, leading to devastating consequences.
Our proposed training program targets 3 key groups: fire safety inspectors, housing officials, and construction teams, with the goal of improving fire prevention, code enforcement, and emergency response in high-rise buildings. We've designed the program using a blended training approach, combining traditional and tech-based methods to ensure both accessibility and hands-on learning. Traditional methods include in-person workshops and field inspections, ideal for practical real-world scenarios. Technology-based tools like online modules and VR simulations bring emergency situations to life, helping participants build confidence in a safe learning environment. Each group receives training specific to their role. Fire inspectors will learn updated fire codes and how to identify high-risk materials. Housing officials and building managers will focus on compliance, tenant communication, and emergency protocols. And construction teams will be trained on using fire-resistant materials and maintaining safety standards during renovations. By tailoring the training to each role, we ensure that every stakeholder contributes to a safer, more prepared environment.
After completing this program, trainees will gain the skills needed to enhance fire safety and emergency preparedness. Our key learning objectives include identifying fire hazards and enforcing updated safety regulations, improving emergency preparedness, including evacuation planning and drills, strengthening collaboration between fire services, housing officials and construction teams to improve response coordination, enhancing fire investigation skills to determine causes and prevent future incidents, and lastly, educating residents on fire safety protocols to help them reduce risk and respond appropriately in case of an emergency. We also have our SMART goals here. The first one will be specific, focus on risk assessments, emergency planning, and regulation enforcement. Measurable, which would be certification upon passing fire safety drills and assessments. Achievable, designed for all skill levels using blended learning methods. Directly addresses the failures identified in the Grenfell Tower tragedy. And lastly, the program will be completed in 8 weeks with refresher courses provided to keep knowledge up to date. And hopefully by the end of this program, participants will be well equipped to ensure safer building environments and prevent future fire-related tragedies.
One of the biggest factors in the Grenfell Tower disaster was the lack of proper training across multiple organizations. To prevent future failures, we propose a three-pronged training approach: e-learning, workshops, and coaching. Each method is tailored to the specific needs of the key stakeholders involved. First, we recommend e-learning for construction companies, including Arconic and Celotex, focusing on compliance and ethics. This ensures that every employee understands fire safety regulations and the consequences of using non-compliant materials. Next, we propose hands-on workshops for firefighters and local government agencies. These sessions will include fire simulations in high-rise buildings, teaching responders how to adapt their strategies for buildings with flammable cladding. Finally, for residents, on-site coaching and demonstrations will be essential. Fire drills and safety workshops will empower tenants to respond quickly and correctly in case of a fire emergency. Together, these methods ensure that all key players receive the knowledge and skills they need to prevent another Grenfell-like tragedy. Now that we've outlined the training methods, let's discuss how we'll implement them effectively. The rollout will be phased over several months. In Phase 1, we will develop e-learning modules for construction companies, ensuring compliance training is standardized. Phase 2 will launch fire safety workshops for firefighters and local authorities, equipping them with critical crisis response skills. Phase 3 focuses on tenant awareness training, where residents participate in live evacuation drills. Finally, in Phase 4, we implement ongoing assessments to measure training effectiveness and make improvements. To support this initiative, we estimate a budget of approximately $50,000, covering trainers, technology, and simulation tools. External safety experts will lead the compliance and firefighter training, while local fire departments will oversee resident coaching. This structured approach ensures that each group receives the right training at the right time, leading to real, measurable safety improvements. To ensure our training has a real impact, we've created a clear evaluation plan that measures effectiveness at every stage. First, we'll use pre- and post-assessments to track knowledge improvement in areas like fire safety protocols, compliance standards, and crisis response. This allows us to see exactly what participants learned. Next, employee feedback surveys will capture how useful and engaging the training was from the learner's perspective. This helps us adjust and improve future sessions. We'll also use performance metrics tied to each group. For example, we expect firefighters to reduce response times during drills, inspectors to identify more hazards during site visits, and construction teams to achieve full compliance with new safety standards. Finally, a visual dashboard or table will track progress in real time, helping us prove that this training is not only necessary but effective. In conclusion, our training proposal directly addresses the failures that led to the Grenfell Tower tragedy. By using targeted methods like e-learning, workshops, and coaching, we equip every stakeholder, from builders to residents, with the knowledge and skills they need. The benefits go beyond compliance. They build a culture of responsibility and readiness. For long-term success, we recommend annual refresher courses, ongoing safety audits, and a centralized system to track training completion. These measures will ensure continuous improvement and accountability. Let's be clear, this isn't just about avoiding another disaster. It's about setting a new standard for safety, ethics, and training across industries. With the right plan in place, we can prevent tragedies like Grenfell from ever happening again.